Well, welcome back to the morning show. It's time for Motivational Monday.
Yeah, in a time where technology is second nature to most of us, you may want to rethink the time you spend with it. Therapist Will Weckhorst is sharing how it can enhance your life without taking away from it. Good morning, Will. How you doing?
Good morning. I'm great. How about yourselves?
Good.
So far, so good.
Happy Monday.
Yeah.
So
Happy
first
Monday.
and foremost, Will, let's talk a little bit about how the relationship with technology can be good, but can also have some negative effects.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I am here to encourage you today to consider your relationship with technology and let it be something that enhances your life without taking away from it. And I want to make it very clear, I'm not here to badmouth social media or devices entirely, and I would never tell anyone to cut it out of their life completely. But it is important to know, firstly, some of the negative effects of excessive technology and social media use.
And when we talk about, time-saving measures and stuff like that, can technology actually waste some of our time when we're trying to, I guess, keep our schedules?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, and some of those other negative effects of excessive technology use is, well, for starters, it can encourage us to compare ourselves to others' lives. People on social media post the best parts of their lives, pictures of vacations, fun trips, accomplishments. We often see a news feed full of these exciting things happening, and it can lead us to have FOMO or fear of missing out and believe that everyone is out having a better life than we are. A great example of this is that Valentine's Day is coming up soon, and you
Mhm.
might see a barrage of people posting declarations of their love for their partner. So, if that's something you're missing in your life, it can feel pretty discouraging to see that right now. Second one, second point is that it can waste time, definitely. A lot of people know the feeling of checking social media on your phone for just a minute. Then you lose track of time and realize you've been mindlessly scrolling and refreshing the page for an hour. And the reason why that so easily happens is because social media sites and apps are designed to give us something called intermittent rewards, meaning that every time you refresh the page or scroll up for the next TikTok or whatever you use, you are getting something new that you've never seen before. And it might be something that we like that makes us laugh, or it might not. And the uncertainty of it keeps us coming back and captivates our brain's reward system. The perfect analogy is like a slot machine. You might get three sevens in a row, you might not. That uncertainty keeps us coming back. Yeah,
And also, Will, the change in our ability to focus on one task at a time.
absolutely. Yeah, this is a really interesting one. You don't see it as much talked about, but research shows that excessive internet use does change our ability to focus. There's an illusion that we have the ability to multitask, but in reality, our brain cannot focus on two things at once. It can only switch quickly from one thing to another. So, if we're trying to accomplish a task and are repeatedly checking our phone in the meantime, it very quickly drains our attention. Uh, the way I describe it is you think about starting a car engine, it takes a little extra gas to start the car at first than it does to keep the car engine going. And in the same way, it takes a little extra energy and attention to get focused on something than it does to stay focused. So when we continuously stop a task to check our phone, it's like turning off our attention engine and then starting it over and over again. And that quickly drains our focus and energy. Um, and also, research shows that social media and technology use wires our brain to focus on things only in short bursts, which makes sense when you think about it. We get good at what we practice, whether we practice it intentionally or not. And many social media technology sites require us to be very good at focusing only in short bursts. So if we then go to focus on something that takes a longer, deeper focus, we find it so difficult.
And Will, how can we make a plan? How can we decide how we want our relationship to, I guess, screen time, having it look a specific way? How do we do that?
Great question. So first, I would say definitely want to make a plan. Decide what your relationship with technology, screen time habits, what do you want that relationship to look like? You might ask the same question about a marriage or your children. What do you want your relationship with them to look like? Well, you have a relationship to technology too. and you want to decide what that can look like ahead of time. And to do that, what I recommend is looking at all the ways you use devices, social media. For each of your habits, ask yourself, how does this enhance my life? And how does this take away from my life? And when you weigh all those, you might decide some habits you want to keep in your life totally, some you might want to cut out completely, and some you might want to keep, but with some limits.
Good advice there, Will. Thanks so much for your time this morning. We really appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Have a great week. Jack has your forecast next. We'll be right back.